Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. And my friends, we got a ride for you today. So the Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Cast happened, the one to showcase Mileena. And yes, we were going to get a couple hints at some system level changes and some balance changes coming from Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. But I'm here to tell you, the idea for this video has changed. This is not about Mileena now. We'll show you some of the Mileena gameplay they showed and all that. And normally I would do like, here are the variations and all that. So before we get to the Mileena stuff, the balance changes, all that, let's start the show with the showstopper. Because variations are no longer a thing. There is no more fixed variation 1, 2, and 3. Now it is custom variations. Finally, that is the rule of law in the land. So the old way of, variation 1 has these moves, variation 2 has these moves, variation 3 has these moves, and there's a couple of things that you don't use outside of casual play. Gone, gone, gone. So you are now allowed to make anything you want for any variation, and it is legal for ranked online play and tournament play. I cannot stress to you enough how immensely huge this is. This is the biggest change to happen in this game's history, and perhaps the biggest single change to happen in the history of any NRS game in a patch. Recent big deal patches in other games like Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 3.5, Season 3, they are minuscule compared to this absolutely titanic change. Mortal Kombat 11 is now a completely brand new game, and any wonderful ideas you have for any kind of characters you want to build, you now can do it. There is still yet a lot more to talk about, but rest assured, this is the single most titanic change you could have ever hoped for at all in this game's lifespan. So hey, now we have the change. So whatever crazy ideas you got, I already got a lot coming. Maybe check out later on the channel, we'll have a video about that, because there's a lot. Hey, you can now do it. And especially so many of the coolest moves in the game, they're not allowed to be used in the regular competitive variations. They just sit there unused, and now they are able to be used. With that said, certain moves that were never designed with competitive play in mind, they did say, well, you can't use those. Specifically, the example they gave was Terminator's Terminate move, like when he becomes the endoskeleton, right? That never entered their minds as a design for anything competitive play-wise, so you cannot use that in the variations. But they said the vast majority of moves are totally okay to go with. So yeah, man, the world is now your oyster. Like, just for a very small example, hey, Cabal, do you like Dragon Ball FighterZ? Now you can play Dragon Ball FighterZ Cabal and go crazy with all your air dashing with the Gas Blast air dash variation, for example. That is totally legal now for ranked and tournament play. Now, I could sit and gush here all day about it. I already did that on the stream, watching this stuff here. But, oh man, what a new lease on life. Like, this is Mortal Kombat 11.5. Heck, you could even say Mortal Kombat 12, right? Like, this gives this game a whole new lease on life. So if you played at any point and stopped playing, now is the time to get back. And if you never played Mortal Kombat 11, there's never been a better time to start than right now. Alright, so now that all said, we got system level stuff and balance stuff to talk about as well. So, system level stuff first. So for one, they're changing Fatal Blows. So Fatal Blows on block now basically will have barely any pushback. So numbers wise, yeah, technically most Fatal Blows are punishable, but due to the distance they push back at, it could be very difficult, especially for certain characters, right? Now, it's not an issue. There will be barely any pushback, so if you block that Fatal Blow, you get to get your punish. Don't worry about it. Now also, Flawless Blocks. The Flawless Block mechanic has been changed in that certain moves, and some of these are Fatal Blows as well, certain moves have been keyed that the Flawless Block window is doubled. So normally when you Flawless Block a move, you had to block basically within 3 frames of the move connecting. That is how you got the Flawless Block off. Now certain moves, and this includes all Fatal Blows, will have that window doubled, so now you can Flawless Block them within 6 frames. So 3 frames, while certainly not impossible, it's still very tight timing for a block, right? 6 frames being double the window, hey man, there you go, right? That's really all you need. So if you are anticipating a certain move and you get to block it, well then hey, it's an easy Flawless Block and then you get all the rewards for it. For example, they use anything off Jackie's Bionic Leap. If that is coming at you, the block window is doubled to Flawless Block it, And if it gets blocked, flawless block, then from Bionic Leap, she cannot special cancel anything. And if you land, you're not allowed to buffer in any moves because the flawless block cancels the buffer off an aerial attack, right? So then all of a sudden now Bionic Jackie been taking down a massive peg, and you didn't even have to like nerf the move, right? Now you just, oh, she's doing it, I block, dead, done, don't gotta worry about it. More system level changes told across the board here. A lot of characters down 1s and down 3s, your poke buttons, they're being adjusted to be either slower recovery or faster recovery depending character to character. So characters that had like really abusable pokes are being slowed down. Characters that had pokes that were not worthwhile, they're being sped up. Another massive change for competitive play is crouching characters' hurt boxes are now being tweaked, so basically they're more kind of uniform across the board. If you watched a video I put out about, I don't know, about a month ago, I spent a good 15 minutes in that video complaining about exactly this, with Kano using as my example. Kano, he has a string, against about a third of the cast, he can't use it because even though it could connect against 2/3 of the cast against the other third, because their block animation is so low while crouching, it just goes over their heads. And against certain characters like Cabal, it's literally random if the move connects or not. So now with this change, should alleviate a lot of hitbox issues. A lot of moves whiffing when they shouldn't whiff will now work properly. Hop attacks are also being much more universally useful across the board, as now hop attacks are immune to down 1, like your basic poke. It cannot be hit by down 1 until your feet are already back on the ground, meaning you are now invulnerable to all sorts of lows and are invulnerable to the down 1 poke, which means now when you're using it against someone who's spamming, it is now a completely viable counter and will make them just wildly more useful. Also now, especially watch out for that Terminator hop crushing blow because it's about to get infinitely more practical. Now for character specific balance changes, they didn't tell us everything, or well, even anything much at all, honestly. They said, hey, the patch is coming, there'll be full patch notes before Ultimate launch. Hey, awesome, thank you very much for that. That makes my life a lot easier. And of course, when the patch notes come, hey, check the channel, I have a full breakdown. But for what they did show, I like a lot of the changes here. For one, Jackie's dash punch is now punishable on block instead of being -7, so you can actually do something about it and punish it instead of just ducking it. At least you can do something about it now. Raiden, back 1-4, is now +1 on block. Certainly a much sight better than what it was before. Any kind of plus frames are certainly welcome, right? So that's awesome, that's fantastic. They also show an example of Raiden's Superman punch, because this is a move normally might as well be invisible because it's not in competitive variations. And hey, now you can now use it because of custom variations. And hey, if you fully charge it, it's plus on block as well. That's just a little taste, more to come with the balance patch. Also keep in mind, a lot of the moves that are not currently in competitive variations that will be allowed for custom use, expect those to get tweaks one way or the other. Because, a lot of them are made in mind, well, no one's using them competitively, so maybe the frame data could be a little jank, right? Now those are going to be tightened up as well. And finally, let's talk Mileena a little bit. So when it comes to the variations, I guess we won't do that now, right? Because there's no need for talking about variations anymore because you get to make your own, so I won't worry about variation 1, 2, and 3. But just to give you a breakdown of some of the juicier details and info about the character. So as you can see through a lot of the gameplay going on here throughout the video, she has a lot of her classic stuff, and we went over that in the trailer breakdown as well. And as far as the trailer breakdown went, turns out it was basically right on everything, so that works out for me. One thing to note here, the EX teleport kick. So before we thought it was just maybe a side switch, and of course it is, but you get to choose which side you land on, so that can be a very big deal actually, both in neutral and combo ability. Air Psi, Low Psi, and Air Teleport, those are all variation moves, and you can create your own custom variation, so just pick out whatever works for you. Her forward throw crushing blow works exactly like Rambo's, meaning you cannot jump or get hit within 10 seconds. If you manage to get that requirement off, then hey, it's always a crushing blow no matter what else. Knowing how Mileena players tend to play, and given her proclivity, how they built her, not jumping for 10 seconds might be really hard for you guys. They did state as well here, Mileena definitely a 50-50 kind of character. She has overhead, she has lows. So if you didn't like how MKX kind of removed 50-50s, well, she's that kind of character. I didn't see any normals like her back 1-2 that give her any kind of footsies or any kind of range. So she's probably going to be just full-on madcap nutter kind of character. If you want to go crazy and not play neutral by just doing balls, slides, and rolls, teleports, all that kind of stuff, it's all there for you. But footsies Mileena, like piercing Mileena back in MKX, maybe doesn't exist in this version. Other variation stuff, she has one variation move, which once again you can add anything, that gives grabs to a lot of her strings, including this one right here, which you can enhance, which leads to a restand, which you can do a lot of dirty stuff with, I'm very sure. Also has a command grab, seems to be a high only, so not a mid, but still, any command grab plus, you know, any kind of tick throw strings, all that kind of stuff. That's the command grab right there. That one seems to always switch sides no matter what though, just FYI. But yeah, as it stands, that's the bulk of what happened. But I cannot stress enough, man, Mortal Kombat 11, brand new game basically. Like, wow. Can't stress it enough. Custom variations blows this game wide open. It's also going to make my life a lot harder, personally, just as a note, because that means combo videos? Man, what am I going to do with that? Like, normally, like, they're a 3 to 5 minute affair. Now with everything available at once, God, who knows? Could be like 15 minutes long now, eh? But yeah, I was not going into those combat casts expecting much more than, oh, Mileena's cool and maybe a hint of balance changes. And now I'm the most excited for Mortal Kombat I've ever been, ever, for Mortal Kombat 11. It's crazy. Everything's blown wide open. So, hey, I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. That's really all I can say. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate launches Tuesday, November the 17th. On PS5 as well, with a bunch of PS5 goodies, Xbox Series X goodies, 4K, all that. I guess I got my work cut out ahead of me for the future for guides and everything, right? Man, oh man, oh man. Exciting times. That's really all I can say. I'll stop the video now before I go gush and just go crazy longer. So my friends, hey, we're at the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. And man, go out and play some Mortal Kombat.
This is the love we